Hello and welcome back to another episode of Ads Metal Detecting. I'm Ads, and on today's episode we are heading to Spalding. We've just stopped off on the way and we are going to a site which is surrounded by Roman history, so hopefully we can pick up some good stuff and show you some of the history that we find. As always, when I go on these group digs, I do like to promote the group that we're going with. So this is Digging History's logo just there, and the link will be in the description, so that if you fancy going on one of these digs with Digging History, you can go and join that Facebook group and get on one of those digs. If you want to see some previous ones with Digging History, if you look in the episodes, we've been on 3 or 4 over the past few weeks where we found plenty of good things, and a lot of good finds have come up from other people, so it is well worth checking out. But if you go onto the Facebook group, it'll show you all the finds that people have posted that they found on previous digs. As always, we're sponsored by Dragon Detecting, so that is their logo there, and if you are very lucky, you can use our code, which is AMD10, which is just at the side of me there. That'll get you 10% off most items. We have just passed the 500 subscriber mark. I say just past, we're actually on around 610, which is absolutely amazing. So a big thank you to each and every one of you that has subscribed, each and every one of you that comes and watches, each and every one of you that comments, likes, and does whatever you can and following me on my journey as I do more and more episodes. As we have done the 500 subscriber giveaway, you will have seen some of those prizes, and they are all winging their way to the winners as we speak. All winners drawn on the video. If you haven't watched it, go and check that out. That will show you who won if you haven't looked at it already. And I'm pretty sure if you join the Facebook group, those people that have won will be posting pictures of their prizes as they arrive with them. So as we head to that 1,000 mark, get subscribed, join in, come and have some fun, join the Facebook groups and everything like that, and take advantage of the offers that I get from Dragon Detecting and elsewhere. Big thank you to both Dragon Detecting and Detectomania who supported me on the 500 subscriber giveaway. As I've always said with the previous ones, if you look back at the 100 subscriber giveaway and the 250 subscriber giveaway, each time getting better, and the 500 subscriber one was absolutely amazing. We also include an international prize which is winging its way to Australia as we speak. If you haven't seen already, we have a range of merchandise at Dragon Detecting. I would appreciate if you go and check that out. There is some pretty cool detecting wear that you can purchase, and it's all just here. If you go onto Dragon Detecting, there is a link in the description, and you can also search Ads Metal Detecting and there will come up. There is bobble hats, polo shirts, bucket hats, caps, t-shirts, hoodies. It's there, and there is plenty more things to come. I've waffled for far too long, so let's get on to the dig.
Right, good morning everyone. I'm not going to keep you for long. Welcome. This is a new farmer for us. We've got a lot of land around here now. Roman area this, all this behind you here, crossed here, British Romano. We know there's been some good finds up off here which have been ploughed up. I ain't going to say too much about that, but there's been some really nice stuff. So we're expecting hopefully some Roman stuff to come off here. Only by getting the new guys on here today, we'll certainly have a better idea what the history is going to come up today. So Minelab users will be really good today. Good day with people now, it'll be a good day, enjoy it. But firstly, I don't know if you've seen the poster, the page. I know this is going to be a real shock to you all. My 60th birthday next Saturday, and a week later or 5 days later we've got VE Day. What we're trying to do is between the 5 days of my birthday, significant date for me, and VE Day, to try and raise as much money as we can for combat stress. There's a link on our page. You can pay £1 on that link. Every bit helps for what we're trying to do. Later in the year we're going to have a Veterans Day where we actually get some of the guys coming out with us that have been in the conflicts with prosthetic legs and are under treatment for combat stress, and they're going to come out with us with you guys and come and do some detecting. So it's really important that we try and do this. The governments have forgotten about what these people have done for the country. We're not going to. We're passionate about what we're trying to do and raise some money. We're genuine with what we do with it. You can see our funding page on there, and it gives you a running total of everything that we're raising. So if between my birthday and the 8th, people want to make a donation on there, there's a link and you can just pay in. But you can pay as little as £1 in on there, and it will be appreciated. I just want to announce a total of what we've raised at the VE Day. See what we get. So support us, really appreciate it. And then we'll let you come out with this again. But no, look guys, we just want you to have a good time. I love putting these digs on, want people to enjoy themselves. So go and have a good day. Fill your holes, most important thing. There's scrap bucket. If it's big crap, take it to the edge of the field, but don't leave it on the surface. We're getting stuff buried back in the holes. You know, we know there's a group local to us, the Fen Diggers. They lost a farmer because people didn't fill their holes in, and that's just totally disrespectful. And a lot of guys won't be able to come out and protect if we didn't put on digs. So, you know, we need to respect it too. It's important. So, not going to hold you up any longer. Go and have a good day, and we'll see what comes up.
Right, we are on to our first coin, just there. 38.39s. It's just here. Just there. Let's see what it is. Looks fairly modern to me, but let's switch on to the other camera and see what we've got. So there we go. You can see 2 shillings, 1950. So it's going to be a George. There we go. You can just see him just there, just behind that green. But a coin's a coin, so we can't complain at that. And it's the first one. So happy days. Little 2 shilling. On to the next. Guys, I think we're on to a hoard. I'll just show you. There's 1. There's 2. It's a lovely modern key hoard. Aren't you so excited that I showed you that? Alright guys, I think we're on to a second coin, but I wouldn't get excited. 37s, 38s. Just down here. There we go, let me switch on to the other camera. There we go. So if you can't see that, it's an old 10 pence. There we go. So we're going forward in time. We really need to be going backwards. So it's the second coin, so we can't complain. But it's an old new 10 pence. There we go, on to the next. So this is the review part. So I've stopped the video mid-flow. Yes, we're disturbing that detecting, but I just want to go through this bag because if you haven't purchased one, they are absolutely amazing. I mentioned it before. So the first thing you'll see, I've got it strapped around my waist at this moment in time, but you'll see that it's got this Velcro fastener around here, which is adjustable. Now the big point about this is, if you've ever had any of the other bags, or you have been out halfway through the day or anything like that, you'll know that it actually just it cuts into your side, especially when that bag starts to weigh down, and it'll start to cut through near your hips or just below there, and you can feel it. It's really uncomfortable. It doesn't happen with this. I've been out a few times with this bag and it just doesn't happen. When you have the other bags, it's hard to adjust, whereas this one is pretty easy. It's very comfortable, it's adjustable. And this here, you've got this extra button. I don't know if you can see this here. I'm just going to come a bit closer. So you've got this extra button here. So sometimes on other bags that I've had previously, you click it and it'd just fall off. You're not releasing this unless you press all 3 buttons. That's absolutely fantastic. So that first part of it is absolutely amazing, and you've got to be comfy in the field. Now the second part of it is the amount of stuff that you have to carry. Now previously, on previous videos, you'll have seen me with other bags, bag on my back. I can literally go out like this with my detector, and that's it, because everything can fit in here, and there then is some space. Now I'm going to show you now what sort of space we've got, and you'll see one of the biggest things here is, as we look here, this is the XL bag, but I have placed my pinpointer, so just there, pinpointer fastens to these. We've got 1, 2, I think there's 4 just there. So this one fastens to the front, doesn't get tangled away with everything else, fits nicely in there, drops in. You're not going to lose that, and it's not going to drop out. It is the perfect size, so you can get to that. Now secondly, you've now got this place at this back. So if we see here, you've got this little ridge here. So I'm actually going to take it off, because I'm going to show you inside the bag now. So just here, look, so we've got these 2 pockets just on the inside there. You see one, I've got this in here, but this one here is where I put my water. I think it's perfect because you can reach down with your fingers. So my water's in that one, you pull it out. That's the smaller of the 2. The other one, look, fit my trowel and in its sock, and it stays there, and then it attaches to there. So I've manipulated this, but we've got a wire there that sits in there. That's absolutely fantastic. Now other bags, as soon as you start adding those things, you start to lose some of your space, and so it becomes very, very cramped for your fines box, for your coin pod, for your towel, for your cleaning product, for absolutely everything you bring in. Now this here, I've got 1 pocket here. Now it's quite full there because I've just got my wife's pod in it, but as you can see, that's got 3 in there. So we've got 2 fines cases and a fines pod in there. If I tip that up, that's in the back pocket alone. When I'm out, I like to have my drink. Now I put my drink in my pocket of my trousers, and it is very uncomfortable because I wasn't able to fit it in the fines pouch that I had. This, look, I can fit that in there perfectly. Now that's not it. You'd think that would be it, but we've still got more. So today, recording, microphone, this is what I keep my microphone in. That slots in there, but I can also put that on one of these. We'll get to those bits in a minute. But just at this front now, we've got another pocket there where you can put all your trash if you wanted to. And if you look on this bottom bit, all that there lets all that muck drop on the floor. So no longer are you going to take that in and drag it all over your house, your car, wherever you're taking it, because it's all dropping through there as you're walking through the field. Now in other bags there is this, but look at the size of that. It's not just a little patch there. So we've got all those. Then we've got yet another pocket at the front. Yeah, and then at this front, this is where I keep my stickers, but you can keep your water bottle in there. You can keep microphones, you can keep absolutely anything in there. Keep the stickers in there just in case anybody asks for one, or I'm giving them out, or anything like that. But that's not it still. We've got this here, this mesh lined thing, and this is where I like to keep. So you see me using my cloth on digs, brush on digs. You see, it's all coming out. It's like one of those magic tissues that the magicians just keep bringing out. Look, another water bottle, little tools, more brushes, and look, they're all attached to this side because it's got more on there. And then this little cool feature here where you get to put, not show all those details, but that's where your NCMD card can go, or other insurances are available. But it's an absolutely fantastic bag. I've had a few bags from various companies that I won't mention. You'll have seen the one I was previously using, but this bag, I can go out now and I don't need to carry a bag on my back unless I want to take snacks, unless I want to take drinks, flasks or anything like that. If I can park up at the side of a field, for example on my permissions, or a group that's just got a small field, and park up, I can take this out with my detector and I don't need absolutely anything else. I don't need to fill my pockets with junk or anything else like that, and I'm comfortable and I can reach for absolutely everything. And you can free yourself up more space, because if you wanted to put this onto your belt or you wanted to put it somewhere on, you can do that and free up your more space. I highly recommend these. So if you fancy getting the must-have finds pouch on the market, go and visit Relics MD, that's their logo there. You will see it in the description. 10% off, that's our code AMD10. Go and take advantage of it, get yourself 10% off and get yourself a Relics MD bag. Now I've whittled on for long enough about this bag, it is amazing, but you tuned in to see me digging, so let's get back to the digging and I'll see you on the next hole. There's not much come up today so far. I've been going a couple of hours, just caught up with the wife though, and if you can just see there, it is very, very toasted. Look at the patina on that, but that is a little sixpence. William III. So I don't know if you can just see that bust there. If we look, my fat fingers in the way, just there, just on there. And if we just turn and see if I can get some light here, on the other side there, it's just coming through now, the detail there. You can just see what I think is the cross coming through with the crowns just on there, but that's a little sixpence. So really good find. You can see that there, look at the bust there, you can see that a lot clearer on there. I'm talking late 1600s, but it's a nice little find, very nice little find. Get some pictures of that and then we'll carry on. So there we go, we can get a little bit more better detail just down here, so I've just switched you back on just so you can see that. It's fairly black there, but you can just see, if you look, the outlines just here of the cross. You see, it's just there and there and there and there, so you see the shadows on there. You just see this right round the outside. It is broken down here, but it's silver. And if we just turn that over, just there, you can see it a lot clearer just there. So on for the silver for the day, and my wife is definitely in the lead after a modern 10p and a modern 2 shillings. But there we go, on to the next. Another one, that's what I've just dug out here. Bouncing all over. 15s through to 20s there, but take you down, it's just here. And I thought it was a little bit of trash. It was actually a little brooch badge. Let's switch onto the camera and you'll be able to see what I can see. So if you look just there, it says good luck. And when you think about it, it's a horseshoe. And then when we turn over on the back, you get the little fastener there. So let's have a little clean up. Let's see whether anything else can come through on that. That's a nice little find. I like that. So guys, we are all cleaned up. There's not really much gonna come off this, but you see a little gilding that would have been on those letters there. So I'm guessing that would have been gilded over some enamel, but I'd be quite happy with that if I was to find it and it was, you know, not all mangled up and everything. But it's a nice find. It's a bit of history, something different, because it's not all about hammers. Yeah, so let's get on to the next. And just down there is a bag seal. So it's not much, but it's a find, and it's quite a nice one because I don't find them with much detail. We got 1415's just there. Take you down. So there we go. So as you can see, it's got 1, 2, 3 just there. Can't see much else on there. On the other side, it's got the Star of David that's on it, which is quite nice. So we should be able to trace some detail of that with that on there. I'm not au fait with bag seals, so forgive me, but we don't find too many on this channel with much design, so it's quite welcome, it's quite nice. That's another find. Right guys, it's another little target. Broken little part of a thimble. All the tiniest little bit. Very modern. Or modern as in the context of not old. This is a problem on this field. This isn't a problem, but this field is a lot of waste, and I'm very honest about when it's good digs, so I have to be brutally as honest when it's not so good digs, because that's the only right thing to do, and today's has not been a great dig for many people at all. So if all about me was finding things, then that would be absolutely fantastic, because you know things are coming up everywhere. Unfortunately, there is a lot of waste on here, and there's no way to sugarcoat it. I think my wife's been lucky finding the William III sixpence. I've got a couple of coins, but it is hard going. We're not going to give up. There is stuff between the trash. There's just a lot of it. So yeah, let's see what the rest of the day brings. But there's not many people left, obviously, because it's not been a great dig so far. But it only takes one walk over and things can change. But I just thought I'd bring that up, just because there is people who come on digs, and sometimes you're going to experience this, and there's nothing you can do. You can either make the most of it or pack up and go home, or if you have permissions that aren't in crop or animals that are currently on them, you can go on those. But it's about making the most of it, really. And if you've come and you've paid for the day, you know, make the most of the day, because you're still out and you're still finding things. I've still got a couple of coins, so you just keep persevering, because there is going to be group digs exactly like this, and it tends to be the ones where you expect the most to come from. Now I can tell you, surrounding these fields, there is a lot of Roman history, a lot, all the way round. Unfortunately, this history that's in here is probably so far buried beneath all the trash that it's not going to really show itself until all that trash has come out. The problem is if the trash is getting ploughed into the field, it will continually be there, and there's no way to get away from that. So it all depends. But I just thought I'd just talk about that for a minute, because there will be plenty of you that has been on digs like this, and unfortunately I have to make an episode, and that's the story to tell today. So let's keep going and see if we find anything. On to the next. Right guys, we are on to the roundup. I've not had a particularly great day. I mean, I can't complain. There's a couple of coins, as you can see, just there. But we'll go through what was found. I don't know who this one was off camera, actually. Cannot remember, but it's a little plain button. These little plain buttons here with nothing or no detail, so they're not the greatest of finds. But there it is. But this little bit here. Now, this was definitely off camera, but it was a little bit that I'd just put to one side because I couldn't really see anything. So if you have a look at that now, it's got this pattern across it, and then it says, I thought it said SIL, but it could say something completely different with an IS at the end or something else. So if you know what that is, give me a quick shout. But there we go. We've got this bag seal with the star on the back and the 1, 2, 3 there, so we will have a look at that and see whether we can trace that to anywhere, but we don't normally get those with detail on it as well, so that's nice. Although when it came up and you just saw it just like that, you would have thought it might have been a little Star of David farmer's token, but it's another little find. And this one, and the more I see this one, the more I like it, which is this little horseshoe brooch. So as you would have seen, it says good luck there. It'd have been nice if it was full and straight. Pin would have gone through there. But that's that little brooch there. And then the 2 coins. Now this one first. 10 pence. It's the thick, older ones. So it's not spendable. But it's a Queen Elizabeth II 10 pence. And then this one here, which was the 2 shillings, which, I don't know. I don't really want to say that's the find of the day. I think my horseshoe brooch is my find of the day because I really like that. There's 2 shillings there. Now on to my wife. She's got a good old, well, we can't call it a Gosberton button because we were near Spalding, so we'll call it a Spalding bullet, but there we go, a little bullet there. Some plain buttons, bag seal on here where we've got B, is it BPS on there? So another one with a little bit of detail. We'll try and see whether we can get anything from that, but that's that. And the saviour of the day, the find, I actually think probably one of the best finds on the actual dig, because the dig wasn't that great, but it's a William III silver 6pence. It is missing that bit there, but you will have seen there, look, William III sat there on this side. Let me get this lined up because I have seen it, where I think it is 1696 that I've seen. Where's Rex? There. So Rex just there, and at the side of it, I'm not sure whether the light does this justice, whether you can see that or not, but it says, I've already deciphered that it says 16 just there, and then 6 at the end, so the guess will be it's 1696. Now if you look in the correct light, if I swivel this about a bit, you can see the cross down it and the crowns and the shadow, but it's a little silver William 6pence, and that is very welcome on what wasn't a great day. So I'm going to spin you round, we're going to do the outro, and I'll see you in a second. Well, what a disappointing day. The field is full of waste, unfortunately. Between there is some history. A few little bits and pieces have come up. It's not been one of those digs where, you know, 10 hammered coins come up, or loads of Roman brooches and loads of coins and everything like that come up. It's just been a regular dig, unfortunately having to get through waste to find those things. I mean, I found a couple of coins which you'll have seen, bit of a horseshoe brooch, and some other little bits, but the find of the day goes to my wife again, with the William III 6pence. It's a little bit battered, but it's silver, so you can't complain. You'll have seen that in the videos. As always, we are sponsored by Dragon Detecting, so if you need any detector needs, please visit them there, and if you're lucky you can use our discount code, which is AMD10, which is just there. You can also use that code at RelicsMD to get the latest finds pouch, and don't forget our merchandise, which you'll see just here, and all the links will be in the description, as well as all the other members of the Dragon family to go and watch their videos too. Hopefully we're on to something better on the next video, but for now I've been Ads, and I will see you on the next episode.